Hi everyone, welcome back to the Learning Curve, the channel where we talk about anything and everything related to PE and learning. So in this episode, I want to discuss about encouraging learner engagement during lessons. To me, this might be the toughest topic yet to talk about because it is about putting theory into practice and action. I think that engagement in learning is important because it shows that the learner is actively trying to learn. It is also a visible indication that there is motivation in the person to do the learning. That is why a learner has to be engaged in something, be it thinking or doing, with some struggle and effort to wrestle with new information alongside what they already know in order to create new knowledge or skills. But the big question is this: how should we go about ensuring that our students are engaged in their learning? I think that creating meaning in learning is the key to unlocking this puzzle. So, if meaning is key, then how can we help students construct meaning? In my previous episode, I talked about activating prior knowledge. And I think that creating meaning for learners starts from there. Because when someone wants to learn something, they have to latch onto something personal so that they can wrestle with the new information coming in and create something relevant to them. This creation of new knowledge, to me, indicates that the learning has taken place. And it is meaningful because it is connected to personal experiences. For example, we can start a lesson by asking, imagine yourself dribbling a basketball. What could help you to be successful in dribbling against defenders during a game? Then we give the students time to think about this issue or this question before exchanging their thoughts with their partners and then sharing with the class as a whole. If activating prior knowledge is done well, it sets a strong foundation for aligning learning activities with personal experiences. But after activating prior knowledge, what's next? The activities that follow should align with lesson objectives and be of value to the students. This means that students should be able to see and understand what they are doing is beneficial to them and worth their time. In an all boys school environment, if we want students to learn about passing and receiving in basketball, the activity could be a 3v1 or a 4v2 possession game. The boys will see that this is a simulation of what they will be doing to keep possession in a 3v3 half court game. But what if not all students can do well in this type of possession game? And that's a very valid question. This is then a great opportunity to get students to reflect on the issues that they faced during the game. Was it the technique or was it the communication and teamwork? For those who believe it was the technique, then they could transition into something simpler, such as passing and receiving with a partner or in groups of threes or fours using a triangle or square formation, respectively. They could count their passes and aim for a challenge of 50 to even 100 consecutive passes within 10 minutes. Even regressing into a simpler activity remains meaningful for them in this case, as they will be able to recognize that technique was the challenge, making them more motivated to refine their skills before progressing into a possession game once again. Then, what about students who don't struggle with passing and receiving, but often have their passes intercepted? They should take time to discuss the issues they face, and we could guide them to determine whether it was a communication issue or something else. The key is to help them work through the problems through the discussion before they return to the possession game. Continuing with the example of possession games, we can further promote engagement by fostering self-efficacy and mastery in learning. But what do I mean by self-efficacy and mastery? So, self-efficacy is the belief of our students that they can succeed in learning what they are learning. Helping them feel capable and developing their self confidence is just as important as their physical and cognitive development. So, what can we do? We can highlight students' progress, share stories of perseverance, provide specific praise for effort, allow them to plan some of their learning, encourage peer teaching, and offer choices in their learning process. So, basically by providing autonomy, relatedness, and opportunities to show competence, as espoused by Desi and Ryan, we can support the development of self-efficacy. So this is where teachers shift from merely transferring information to facilitating student knowledge construction. As for promoting mastery in learning, I'm no expert in this area, but I believe that reinforcing the idea that learning is about improvement rather than outcomes will help. Sharing positive examples of students' progress, encouraging self reflection, facilitating think, pair, share activities, incorporating peer assessment can support this. Learning activities should be progressive and manageable so that students can see and feel that learning is a continuous journey. This also aids in feedback facilitation. Students, especially novices, may experience cognitive overload if feedback on passing and receiving, for example, as I've mentioned above, is provided within a full basketball game context too early in the learning process. It has been a long episode, but in summary, to better encourage engagement in our students, one, we should activate prior knowledge. Two, we should promote mastery by emphasizing improvement over outcomes. Three, we should foster self efficacy by encouraging self confidence and belief in learning through effort based encouragement and appropriately challenging tasks. And four, we should create value in learning activities so that students see their real life applications. However, having shared what I've just shared, we must always go back to understanding our learners first. What motivates them? What works for them? Otherwise, we will not be able to know what learning activities or ways of learning that are of value to them. We must understand that pedagogical theory and ideas cannot be disconnected from context. Therefore, this also means that what I have shared may not surely work for you. There are multiple ways to support motivation and engagement, and there is no one size fits all approach. It all starts from understanding our learners. It's just like doctors who need to understand the needs of their patients first before providing the medical support necessary for them. So I hope that this episode has been helpful to you. And as always, may the joy of teaching be with you, and see you in the next one.